Welcome to
Learn English fast.
Hello and welcome to the English Learning Podcast. My name is Henry, and I'm so happy you're here with me today. If you're someone who's learning English and wants to speak it fluently one day, then this episode is just for you. Today, we're talking about something very important and very powerful. It's called The Only Way to Become Fluent in English with the Common 5,000 Words. Yes, just 5,000 words. That's it. Now, you might be thinking, only 5,000? That doesn't sound like enough. But here's a little secret. Those 5,000 most common words are used in over 90% of daily English conversations. That means if you learn them well, really well, you'll understand and speak English much more easily. In this episode, I'll explain exactly why these 5,000 words are the key, how to learn them, and, most importantly, how to use them to become fluent. I'll keep everything simple, clear, and easy to follow. No complicated grammar, no big explanations. Just real tips and real steps that you can start using today. So, grab a notebook or just listen closely, and let's begin your journey to fluency. One word at a time. All right, before we jump into learning the 5,000 words, let's talk about something important first. Fluency. What does it really mean to be fluent in English? A lot of people think fluency means speaking like a native speaker. But that's not true. You don't have to sound like someone from the US or the UK to be fluent. Fluency simply means you can speak and understand English easily and smoothly. Let me say that again. Fluency means you can speak and understand English easily and smoothly. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need a big vocabulary. You don't need to speak fast. You just need to be able to communicate. That means you can share your thoughts, ask questions, and respond quickly, without always stopping to think about every word. Here's an example. Imagine someone asks you, "What did you do yesterday?" If you're fluent, you can say something like, "I went to the market. I bought some fruit. Then I met my friend, and we had lunch together." Simple, right? But also fluent. You're not using difficult words. You're not using perfect grammar. But you're still communicating clearly and confidently. Now let me explain a common mistake learners make. Many people focus too much on grammar. They want every sentence to be perfect. So they stop, they think, they correct themselves. And that's okay when you're studying, but when you're speaking, it slows you down. Fluency is not about being perfect. It's about being comfortable. Also, fluency is not only about speaking. It also means you can listen and understand native speakers. You can read articles or books without stopping every 2 words. You can think in English without translating from your language. So now, ask yourself, do I speak without stopping? Can I understand everyday English? Can I explain my ideas clearly? If your answer is not yet, that's okay. Because today, we're going to talk about the only way to get there, by focusing on the common 5,000 words and learning them in a smart, simple way. Let's get into the first step. Why vocabulary is the foundation of fluency. Okay, now that we understand what fluency really means, let's talk about something very important. Vocabulary. Vocabulary is the foundation of your English. It's like the bricks in a house. Without bricks, you can't build the walls. Without vocabulary, you can't build your sentences. It's that simple. Let me ask you this. If you know all the grammar rules, but you don't know the words, can you speak English? No, you can't. Because you don't have the tools to express your ideas. Now, here's the good news. You don't need to learn every word in the English language. In fact, that would take years, maybe even your whole life. But the truth is, you don't need them all. You only need the right words. And that's where the common 5,000 words come in. Why 5,000 words? Research shows that the 5,000 most common English words are used in around 95% of daily conversations. That means if you learn these 5,000 words, you will understand almost everything people say in everyday life. Think about it. Talking to friends, watching movies, listening to podcasts, reading emails, shopping, traveling, or working. These words appear again and again in real conversations, not in textbooks. Of course, English has over 170,000 words in total. But do you need all of them? No. Most native speakers only use around 20,000 to 35,000 words in their entire lives. And in daily use, they use just 3,000 to 5,000 words regularly. So instead of learning rare or difficult words like photosynthesis or notwithstanding, it's better to focus on words like go make time, people want need, come good day, help. These are the words that help you survive in real life, have real conversations, and understand what's going on around you. Learn smart, not hard. When you focus on the most useful words, you're not just learning faster, you're learning smarter. So, to become fluent, your first goal should be vocabulary. And not just any vocabulary, the most common 5,000 words. In the next part, I'll show you how to learn those 5,000 words in an easy and effective way, even if you're busy or just starting out. Let's keep going. All right, now that you understand why the common 5,000 words are so important, let's talk about the big question. How do you actually learn them? Don't worry, you don't need to sit and memorize a long list. That's boring and not very effective. I'll give you a few smart and simple methods to learn these words in a way that really works. 1. Use a frequency list. First, start with something called a frequency list. This is a list of the most common English words, ranked by how often they are used. You can easily find a top 1,000 English words list online, and then go up to 2,000, 3,000, and finally 5,000. Start small. Learn the first 1,000 words. Then go to the next level, step by step. These are words you'll see and hear everywhere: TV, movies, books, conversations. So when you learn them, you'll immediately start recognizing them in daily life. 2. Use flashcards. One of the best tools to learn vocabulary is flashcards. You can make paper flashcards at home, or use an app like Anki, Quizlet, or Memrise. These apps help you review the words again and again until you remember them. Here's how it works. One side has the English word. The other side has the meaning in your language, or a picture. You look at them for a few minutes each day. Simple, right? And there's something even better. 3. Use spaced repetition. Most flashcard apps today use something called spaced repetition. That means they show you the difficult words more often and the easy words less often. For example, you see a new word today. You see it again tomorrow. Then 3 days later. Then a week later. This helps your brain remember words for a long time. You're not just memorizing. You're learning for real. Spaced repetition is one of the most powerful learning tools. And the best part? You only need 10 to 15 minutes a day to do it. 4. Learn in context, not alone. Here's something many learners forget. Don't learn words by themselves. Don't just learn the word run. Instead, learn it in a sentence like, I run every morning. Or, she runs to catch the bus. Why is this better? Because when you learn a word in a sentence, you understand how it's used. The grammar, the meaning, the feeling. This helps you remember it faster, and it also teaches you how to use the word in real conversations. 5. Read and listen. Every day, you can also learn new words naturally by reading and listening. Start with simple books, short stories, or podcasts for learners. When you hear or read a word again and again, it becomes part of your memory. You don't need to understand every word. Just try to understand the general meaning. Over time, the words will become more and more familiar. Keep it simple and consistent. Let me give you a plan you can follow. Start with a list of 1,000 common words. Learn 10 new words every day using flashcards. Review old words every day using spaced repetition. Use the words in sentences. Say them out loud. Read or listen to English for 15 minutes a day. If you do this every day, you'll be surprised how fast your vocabulary grows. And remember, you don't need to be perfect. Just keep going. A few words each day is all you need. Next, let's talk about the real secret to fluency. Active daily practice. This is where the magic happens. All right, we've talked about the words you need, the common 5,000 words. We've talked about how to learn them. Now, let's talk about how to make them part of your speaking. This is where many learners get stuck. They know a lot of words. They understand when they read or listen. But when they try to speak, nothing comes out. Why? Because they're not practicing actively. And that's the big secret. The only way to become truly fluent is with active daily practice. Let me explain what that means and how you can start doing it today. 1. Speak every day, even alone. You don't need a teacher. You don't need a classroom. You don't even need a partner. You can practice speaking English alone right now, wherever you are. Here's how. Look around your room and describe things out loud. This is my table. It's brown. I eat dinner here. Talk about your day. Today I woke up at 7. I drank coffee. Then I started work. Imagine a situation, like ordering food at a restaurant, and act it out. It might feel strange at first, but trust me, this is powerful. When you speak out loud, your brain gets used to producing English sounds. You build muscle memory in your mouth. You build confidence. 2. Try the shadowing technique. This is one of the best techniques for fluency. It's called shadowing. Here's how it works. Find a short audio clip in English. It could be a podcast, a video, or a movie scene. Listen to one sentence, then repeat it immediately, exactly like the speaker. Try to copy the speed, the tone, the rhythm. Do this again and again. This trains your brain and your mouth to think and speak faster in English. Start with slow, clear English. Then move to normal speed when you're ready. 3. Record your voice. This one is simple, but very effective. Use your phone to record yourself speaking English. You can read a short story out loud, answer questions in English, talk freely about your day or your thoughts. Then, listen back. Yes, it might sound strange at first, but it helps you hear your mistakes and improve your pronunciation. Over time, you'll notice your voice sounds more confident and fluent. 4. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Fluency is not about knowing something once. It's about repeating it until it becomes natural. Let's say you learn the word buy today. Use it again and again. I want to buy a new phone. She buys bread every morning. Did you buy that yesterday? Repeat it today, tomorrow, next week. That's how it becomes part of your speaking automatically. 5. Just 15 to 30 minutes a day is enough. Now you might be thinking, Henry, I don't have much time. And I get it. We're all busy. But you don't need hours of study. Even 15 to 30 minutes a day of active speaking can change everything. The key is doing it every day. Not once a week. Every single day. Even 5 minutes is better than 0. Make it a habit. Make it part of your life. Real progress happens when you use English. Remember this. You don't learn to speak by only studying. You learn to speak by speaking. You already have the words. You just need to activate them. So speak to yourself. Repeat audio. Shadow. Record. Use the words. Every day. That's the only way to fluency. And now, let's talk about something that will help you learn even faster. Context. Let's dive into that next. All right, let's keep going. We've talked about learning words, practicing daily, and speaking out loud. But there's one more thing that makes everything easier. Context. So, what is context? Context means the situation, the story, or the sentence around a word. Let me give you an example. Let's say you learn the word bank. What does it mean? Well, without context, it's hard to know. It could mean a place for money, the side of a river, a place to sit your airplane, bank left or right. But if you hear this sentence, I went to the bank to get some money, now you understand exactly what the word means because of the context. Why is context so important? When you learn a word with context, your brain remembers it faster. You don't just know what the word means, you know how to use it. You learn grammar, word, order, tone, and feeling all at the same time. That's why learning from sentences, stories, and real situations is much better than just memorizing a list of words. Learn from sentences, not just words. Here's a quick tip. Whenever you learn a new word, always learn a full sentence with it. For example, don't just learn decide equals to choose something. Instead, learn I decided to study English every morning. See how clear that is? You learn what the word means, how to use it, and even a little grammar, all in one short sentence. Use stories and dialogues. You can also use short stories or conversations to learn words in context. Stories are great because they're interesting. You remember better. Words appear again and again. Dialogues are even better for speaking because they show you real conversations. You learn how people ask questions, how they answer, how they greet each other, and how they end a chat. For example, A. Hey, what are you doing this weekend? B. I'm thinking of going to the beach. Now you've learned how people actually talk in real life. Watch and listen with subtitles. Another way to get great context is to watch or listen to English with subtitles. Watch a movie, a YouTube video, or a podcast with English subtitles. You'll see how the words are used in real life. Pause when you hear a new word. Read the sentence. Repeat it out loud. Try to use it later in your own sentence. This is how words become real for you. Everything fits together. Remember this. Context connects everything. It connects the word, the meaning, the grammar, and the feeling. So don't just study words by themselves. Use them in sentences, stories, dialogues, conversations. That's how native speakers learn as kids. And that's how you can learn too. Coming up next, we'll talk about how to use these words in real life, with real people. Let's keep going. All right. Now that you've learned how important context is, let's take the next big step, using the words in real life. Because let's be honest, what's the point of learning the top 5,000 words if you never actually use them? Remember, fluency doesn't come from just knowing words. Fluency comes from using words in real situations. So, let's talk about how you can do that, even if you don't live in an English-speaking country or have native speakers around you. 1. Start using English in your daily life. You can bring English into your everyday routine, starting now. When you cook, describe what you're doing in English. I'm cutting the onions. Now I'm boiling water. When you walk outside, Talk about what you see. There's a man walking his dog. The sun is shining. You're practicing thinking and speaking in English, with real words, in real life. This builds confidence, speed, and automatic speaking. 2. Talk to real people, online or offline. Even if you don't live in an English-speaking country, you can still talk to people. Here's how. Use language exchange apps like HelloTalk, Tandem, or Speaky. You speak English. They help you. Then you help them with your language. Join online groups, English forums, or Facebook groups where people practice English. Find conversation clubs online. There are many free ones on Zoom or WhatsApp. Even 15 minutes of speaking a few times a week can change your fluency level. And don't worry about making mistakes. That's how you learn. 3. Use social media in English. Change your phone settings to English. Follow English-speaking YouTubers or influencers. Comment on posts in English. Write simple posts about your day, like, "I went to the park today." "The weather was great." Or ask questions, "What's your favorite book in English?" This is real English in action. It doesn't have to be perfect, just real. 4. Write every day, even just one sentence. Writing helps you remember vocabulary better, and it helps your brain organize thoughts in English. Start small. One sentence a day. Today was a busy day. I learned 5 new English words. I watched a movie in English. You can write in a notebook or post online. The key is, do it daily. 5. Review and reuse. When you learn a new word, don't let it disappear. Use it in your writing. Say it when you speak. Look for it when you listen or read. The more you use a word, the stronger it becomes in your brain. Remember, use it or lose it. Use English to live, not just study. In the end, the best way to learn English is to use it to live your life. Watch what you enjoy in English. Talk about what you love in English. Make friends, tell stories, ask questions in English. This is real practice. This is real progress. And this is how you become fluent. Next up, I'll share something very special with you. How you can stay motivated and consistent on your English learning journey. Let's dive into that. All right, before we talk about motivation and how to stay consistent, let's take a quick moment to look at something very important. Common mistakes. English learners often make. Avoiding these can save you a lot of time and frustration. Let's go through them quickly. Mistake 1. Memorizing words without using them. Many learners think, if I memorize 5,000 words, I'll be fluent. But here's the truth. If you don't use the words, you'll forget them. You must read them, say them, write them, and hear them in real situations. Mistake 2. Focusing only on grammar. Grammar is important, yes. But if you spend all your time trying to be perfect, you'll never speak. Don't worry about making mistakes. Focus on communication. You can fix grammar later. Mistake 3. Learning rare or difficult words. First, you don't need to learn words like photosynthesis or democracy when you still don't know words like buy, want, or next. Learn the common, useful words first. Mistake 4. Waiting for the perfect time. Some people say, I'll start speaking when I'm ready. But that day never comes. The truth is, you learn faster by starting now, even if you're not ready. Avoiding these mistakes will help you stay on the fast track to fluency. Now, let's move to something just as important: how to stay motivated and consistent on your journey. Let's go! We're almost at the end of today's episode, and I hope you've learned a lot so far. Before we finish, I want to leave you with some final tips, and most importantly, some motivation to keep going on your English learning journey. Because let's face it, learning a language is not always easy. You will have good days and bad days. But I'm here to tell you, You can do this. Let's start with a few powerful tips. Tip 1. Make English part of your daily life. Don't treat English like a school subject. Treat it like a part of your life. Watch your favorite shows in English. Change your phone to English. Talk to yourself in English. Think in English while doing small tasks, like walking, cooking, or cleaning. The more English is around you, the more natural it becomes. Tip 2. Set small goals. Don't say, "I want to be fluent." That's too big and not clear. Instead, say, "I will learn 10 new words this week." "I will speak English for 5 minutes every morning." "I will write one short paragraph today." These small goals are easy to reach, and they keep you motivated. Tip 3. Be consistent, not perfect. Fluency doesn't come in one big moment. It comes from small steps every day. Some days you will feel tired. Some days you won't feel like studying. That's okay. Just show up. Even if you do just 5 minutes, you are still moving forward. Remember, progress is better than perfection. Tip 4. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. This is maybe the most important one. Making mistakes is how you learn. You can't wait to be perfect before you speak. That day will never come. Speak now. Make mistakes. Learn. Repeat. Even native speakers make mistakes sometimes, and that's completely normal. Final words of motivation. Let me tell you something from the heart. If you understand this podcast right now, even 50% of it, you are already doing something amazing. You're learning, and every day, you're getting better. So be proud of yourself. Keep learning those common words. Keep speaking out loud. Keep listening, reading, and practicing. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going. Your fluency is not in the future. It's in what you do today. So take one small step right now. Even listening to this podcast? That's a step. Keep walking. Keep growing. You've got this. Thanks for spending this time with me today. I'm proud of you for showing up, and I hope today's episode gave you real, simple tools to help you speak English better and more confidently. Until next time, keep learning, keep smiling, and keep speaking. I'm Henry, and I'll talk to you again soon. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for listening and spending this time with me. If you found today's tips helpful, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Also, please share this podcast with your friends who want to learn English faster and easier. If you have any questions or topics you want me to cover, just send me a message or leave a comment. Remember, learning English is a journey, and every small step counts. Keep practicing, stay positive, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care, and goodbye.